Namaste to all. Here I am with a new video relating to the valuation of shares. It is similar to valuation of goodwill, but few things are different from the valuation point of. So let us start the chapter called valuation of shares. It i- it will be part of the valuation of goodwill unit itself. There are two chapters, so let us discuss these things. We know what is mean by share means a part of share capital. It should be valued. So how its valuation will be done, those things we are going to discuss in this chapter. So topics to be studied, learned and revised, this is what I will tell every time in the class from at the beginning of the chapter itself. So meaning of share value and types of share values. There are different types of share values like face value, face value which is mentioned in the MOA or AOA of in the MOA itself, in the memorandum of association, at what rate company want to issue the shares to the public. Its face value will be determined by the company itself. And the next value is market value as per the market condition. And next uh, another value is intrinsic value. Intrinsic, that is nothing but value as on the basis of net assets of the company. Dot is not coming here. So intrinsic value. So these are the different values per share. So all these things are theory part, you need to learn because it is revision class. So I don't want to explain each and everything of the theory part presently, because already we have discussed in the class. This is for backlog purpose revision class. So what are the important things I am saying? Hmm. So need for valuation of shares and methods of valuation of shares, determination of um, share value in stock exchange, how stock exchange will determine the share value, factors affecting the valuation of shares. These are the theory part. Some theory questions may be asked uh, out of this. And methods of valuation of shares is important from the problematic point of view. So let us see those things. So there are three methods of valuation of shares. One is net assets method. This is also called as intrinsic value method. Just now we wrote intrinsic, or it is also called as assets backing method or breakup value method. Next one is earning capacity method or market value method. Market value method, or we can call it as yield method. Yield method also. uh, Third one is dual method or fair value method. Dual method or fair value method. If you add net assets method plus earning capacity method and divide it by 2, that is fair value. That means if you know net assets method and yield method, that is enough. If you add the answer of these two and divide it by 2, then you will get last method, fair value method. This is what uh, about three methods in brief. So let us discuss the valuation of shares under net assets method. That is your first method. So I have made some uh, already for the purpose of this. So let us see the valuation of shares under net assets method. That is why I will remove this one. Let us see the net assets. Unnecessarily my picture will uh, increase the size of the video. And one more thing, you people need to concentrate on the answer, not on my face. So let us see these things. Net assets method. Net assets method is also known as intrinsic value method or assets backing method or market breakup value method. Why it is called assets backing, why it is called net assets means, under this method valuation will be done on the net assets available to the equity shareholders. Net assets means assets minus liabilities. From the assets we will deduct the liabilities, and whatever value remaining, that is divided by the number of equity shares. That value is nothing but your intrinsic value, or we can call it as net asset or assets backing. Why asset backing means, from the assets you are backing up the liabilities, you are deducting the liabilities. Why it is called breakup means, it gives the breakup values of various things like net assets available to preference shareholders, net assets available, okay, and amount available to equity shareholders. Like that it will give some breaks. So that is why it is called as uh, net assets or breakup value method. Okay, I don't want to waste any more time. Let us see the valuation part relating to it. First thing, under the net assets method, A for consider it as assets, A for assets. Similar to your goodwill valuation, here assets we need to take other than fictitious assets. Other than fictitious assets, goodwill will be taken as given in the problem or will be valued if any information relating to valuation of goodwill is given. That means you need to do the valuation of goodwill, then we need to do the valuation of shares. So first we need to calculate goodwill as per weighted average profit or super profit or on the basis of simple average profit. That information will be given in the question. If given, then only we will do value. So goodwill. Next, all other assets like land and building, plant and machinery, stock, data, every other asset except fictitious assets will be taken at market value or realizable value. If nothing mentioned, then you will take at book value. Generally values will be given. Suppose land and building given in the question is 1 lakh. Land and building is given at 1 lakh. But in the additional information, they'll say that market value of the building is 1,30,000. So we need to take 1,30,000 instead of 1 lakh. Hope you have understood this. Next, total of assets, that is these two total assets. Here we are having only two numbers. With these two you will get total assets. From this we need to b means bahar wale kaun se, less outside liabilities, similar to asset capital employed in the valuation of goodwill, debentures and add outstanding debenture interest if any, ये दोनों मिला के माइनस करना है. Okay, these two we need to take outside for the purpose of deduction. Debenture value, and if any outstanding interest on debenture is there, that will also will be considered. Other current liabilities like sundry creditors, provision for tax, and all other current liabilities, outstanding salary, like, so total outside liabilities B, this total from A minus B, from total assets if you deduct the B outside liabilities, net assets available to, please remember this point, preference shareholders and equity shareholders. Whatever net value you have got, this is for preference shareholders as well as equity shareholders. From this we need to deduct less amount payable to preference shareholders. Generally, while telling this problem, this method, I'll tell one example. Suppose there is a function at your house. What you will do? Will you people will eat first, or you will allow outsiders to eat first? So from the assets available, first from the assets available, we will deduct the first we will deduct the आउटसाइड लाइबिलिटीज. आउटसाइडर्स पहले खिलाते बाहर वालों को, तो आउटसाइड लाइबिलिटीज निकाल दिए. देन प्रिफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स, देन इक्विटी शेयर. प्रिफरेंस मीन्स हमारे घर में बाहर वाले हो गए, हमारे घर के लोग भी रहते, लेकिन पहले कौन कहते उनमें से भी पहले आप बोलते बच्चों को खिलाओ, बड़ों को खिलाओ, छोटे बच्चों को या बूढ़े लोगों को जो उम्र में बड़े हैं या छोटे हैं उनको, क्योंकि दे कांट वेट फॉर लॉन्गर टाइम. ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाट वी विल डू. Consider preference shareholders like, so preference share capital, amount payable to preference share capital and arrears of preference dividend if any. हर बार नहीं लेना, अगर डिविडेंड अरियर्स है तो ही लेना. ओके, इफ इट मेंशन there is preference dividend arrears, then we need to consider. So amount payable to preference shareholders, one preference share capital, other one arrears of preference dividend. If you add these two, you will get amount at outer column. If from the net assets available to preference shareholders and equity shareholders, C, we need to deduct D. Sorry, here they mention, here it is mentioned, it is C minus D. We need to take C minus D. So from C, if you deduct the D, that is net assets available to preference shareholders and equity shareholders minus amount payable to preference shareholders. आपने preference shareholders को पे कर दिए, तो क्या आएगा? Net assets available to equity shareholders, right? Like this breakup will be given at each and every point. That is why this method also known as breakup value method. This F point, please remember, very important one. It will not come every time. If there are any partly paid up shares, then only we need to consider this point. Otherwise our answer is almost done. Add notional call money. In case of partly paid up shares, we need to add unpaid capital as, or uncalled capital as, notional call. Suppose rupees 10 per share, rupees 8 paid. what is the face value? 8 rupees. But what is paid up value? Paid up value is only 8 rupees. Remaining 2 rupees is not yet called and not yet paid. So this 2 rupees is nothing but uncalled. This will be called as a notional call. If company is required, then they will call. But for the calculation purpose, to take the number of shares, we need to take only fully paid up shares value. So suppose 10,000 shares are there, rupees 10 each, rupees 8 paid, 2 rupees is unpaid, 2 rupees into 10,000, 20,000 we need to take as notional call, and we need to add it to the net assets available. Then we will get G1, amount available to equity shareholders. This one, amount available to equity shareholders divided by number, not value, number of equity shares will be divided by number of equity shares will be your value per share. Here ends the answer. I quickly tell you one by one. Please concentrate. We can do it easily. See, first we need to take assets other than fictitious assets. If goodwill is given, take given value, or you need to value the goodwill as per the information given. Next, other assets at their market value or realizable value will be given in the question that we need to consider. So total assets you are getting. From total assets we will deduct the liabilities, outside liabilities like debentures, current liabilities we will deduct. While taking debentures, if outstanding interest is there, that you will take. So debentures, other current liabilities, total liabilities. From total assets, first we will deduct the outside liabilities, then you will get assets available to preference shareholders and equity shareholders. From this amount payable to preference shareholders, we need to deduct preference share capital and arrears of preference dividend. Preference share capital and arrears of preference dividend both together we will take, and if you deduct that, then you will get net assets available to equity shareholders. Net assets available to equity shareholders. Here we need to consider, if in case of partly paid up shares, not in case of every time. In case of partly paid up shares, we need to make a notional call and add that notional call amount. This point I am telling again and again. This notional call amount, okay, then you will get this notional call amount add करने के बाद amount available to equity shareholders, then that will be divided by number of equity shares, then you will get answer as value per share. Here ends the answer. That's it, very simple method, but we need, if you learn this pro forma, that is enough. So someone who wants to make a screenshot of it, please make it. Already it is there in your notes, but if you won't have notes now because it is of third sem, might not be available, search it, if found no problem, otherwise make a screenshot. That's it. Okay, so this is very simple one, pro forma based. Let us deal one answer relating to it so that you can understand better. So following is the balance sheet of Raju Company Limited as on 31st December 2004. 5,000 equity shares, please underline that one and remember 5,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, 5 lakhs. This number of shares will be required in the last step, and 1,000 preference shares, 8% preference shares of rupees 100 each, 1 lakh. This 1 lakh will also will be useful for us. General reserve don't consider, profit and loss account don't consider, bank loan and sundry creditors, these are outside liabilities. Okay, these are outside liabilities. Next asset side, goodwill 60,000, land and building, plant and machinery, land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, stock 1,20,000, debtors 90,000, cash 60,000, preliminary expenses, this we should not consider. Leave it because it is a fictitious asset. This is fictitious asset, should not be considered. I wrote here other than fictitious assets. So goodwill, the value of assets is assessed as follows. Market values are being given. Goodwill is 70,000. So we need to take 70,000 instead of 60,000. Land and building, plant and machinery 1,76,000. Here 1,50,000 is there. Don't take 1,50,000. And land and building 2,25,000. Don't take 2 lakh. Stock 1,30,000. So stock value also we should consider this one. 1,30,000. Furniture is to be depreciated by 10%. So go to furniture and write there minus 10%. While doing the answer, we need to do. Debtors are valued at 80%. So 90,000 is the value given, but 80% we need to consider. So into 80% you write. Next, cash at bank you'd consider 60,000 as it is. Find out the value of each share. When assets and liabilities information is given, you need to consider it as net assets method or intrinsic value method. Okay, so let me tell you one by one each and everything. By considering the above information, so I am taking goodwill 70,000 as given in the question. Land and building 2,25,000, so 2,25,000. Machinery 1,76,000, 1,76,000. Furniture 30,000 minus 10%, so 27,000. Stock 1,20,000 is given in the question, but in the additional information here it is only 1,30,000, so I have taken 1,30,000. Next, debtors, he said 80% of book value, 90,000 into 80%, 9 8 is 72,000. Next, machinery also here given, goodwill given. So whatever given information is there, that is only I am taking. Cash at bank 60,000 is given in the question. So let us do the total of this. Total. Okay. 2 2 plus 7 9, 9 plus 6 15, 15 plus 5 20. So 20 0 0 0 3 zeros, then 20 means another 0, 2 will be carried. 2 plus 7 9, 9 plus 2 9 plus 2 11, 11 plus 7 18, 18 plus 2 20, 20 plus 3 23, 23 plus 7 30, 30 plus 6 36, 6 and 3 will be carried. So I'll write here 3 on top of 2. 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 1 7. So amount will be, total assets available will be 7,60,000. So I am writing here 7,60,000. From 7,60,000 we need to deduct bank loan outside liabilities, bank loan 40,000 and creditors 20,000, together 40 plus 20 60,000. So I'll write outer column, we need to deduct this one, so I'll write here minus 60,000. From 7 lakhs if you deduct the 60,000 it will be, sorry, from 7,60,000 if you deduct the 60,000 it will be 7 lakhs. So 7 lakhs, from 7 lakhs this is the net assets available to preference shareholders and equity shareholders. We will consider as, from the assets we have deducted only outside liabilities, that is why. Next we are having preference share capital given in the question 1 lakh. Let me show that one also, और फिर कहाँ से लिखे, here it is preference share capital 1008% preference shares, so 1 lakh. So preference share capital, here they didn't mention arrears of preference dividend, so I will consider it as nil. Preference dividend कुछ नहीं है, consider it as nil. So from 7 lakhs if you deduct 1 lakh it will be 6 lakhs. Add notional call only if there are partly paid up shares, but in this question there are no partly paid up shares because all shares are fully paid up, 100 rupees each, 5 lakhs. So there are no partly paid up shares, so consider it as nil. So amount available to equity shareholders, 6 lakhs plus nil will become 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs divided by number of equity shares given in the question. Number of equity shares given in the question right here on the top. I said beginning itself, this will be useful information. Number of equity shares, see 5,000 equity shares, so consider it. So 5,000 we have divided here, from 6 lakhs divided by 5,000 value will be 120 rupees. So value, intrinsic value per share 120, we2 got the same, we2 got the same as 120. Here is the answer. So hope you have understood the answer. So I am ending the video here. तो सीखना बंद तो जीतना बंद, सीखते रहो जीतने के लिए, क्योंकि माय गुरु ऑलवेज सेज द सेम थिंग टू मोटिवेट द स्टूडेंट्स. आई एम टेलिंग द सेम. జై.
మందులంట అమ్మమ్మకి ఇచ్చిందంట.